Okay. Yeah, please tell us about us later. I'm kind of interested of how that went. So.
And Vince, I sent a link in the chat for
Okay.
that so that you can pull it up as well.
Okay. Yes, because we did write a rough script. We always write one.
You put it in the chat?
Wait, does Vince have access to that? Or are we gonna...
You never cease to amaze me, Victory.
What?
You never cease to amaze me with your IT skills.
Thank you.
How cool. Look at that. Boom. Just like that. I didn't have to, take 5 minutes to find it.
Okay, does everyone have access to the script?
Google Drive. Hey, Vince. I'm Noelle, by the way.
Hi, I'm Vince. Nice to meet you.
Also, if everyone could...
crazy.
If everyone could speak at the volume of Vince, that would be great. Because when I tried recording earlier, the audio was so low. You could barely hear anybody. So, okay, does everyone have... Okay, everyone has access to the script. Okay, cool. All right. Okay. Hello, welcome to the PVCC Student Lens podcast. I'm our technically announced moderator, Esperanza.
I'm Noelle.
I'm Victory.
And we have
I'm...
we have a special guest today. Introduce yourself, please.
Yes, my name is Vincent Gomez, and I am a political science major at Arizona State University.
Okay, thank you. Cool. First of all, thank you for coming on to the pod.
Of course.
Okay, so, sorry. I'm roughly reading the script while I'm trying to do this. Okay, so in case you're not familiar with the Student Lens podcast, it is a project that our team started. It was a project. I'm so sorry. I'm stumbling right now. But it was a project that we started for our leadership class, something that can impact campus. And although we know that you're not a PVCC student at all, but you are at ASU, which is still really good to know for the people who do want to go to ASU like myself. So we're going to start off with... Okay, so, we forgot to introduce our majors. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm Esperanza. I'm a mathematics major. Okay.
And I'm criminal justice major.
And I am a communications major.
Okay, so we're going to start off with Noelle. Your question is up first.
Thanks for joining us so late at night, too. That's why we're probably a little, not normal because we're all tired. It's been a long day.
No, it's all good.
Well, look at, you're all excited to be here. That's so cool. We're so glad you have such energy. Good for all of us. So I would like to ask you if you have any tips. So you're in your fourth year, final year, or your last year, yeah?
Yes.
Any tips to staying motivated throughout your years in college?
Yeah. Honestly, it does get pretty hard to stay motivated throughout college. The burnout is real, but the main thing that motivates me right now is just feeling that accomplishment of getting a degree and being one of the first people in my family to get a college degree. And so it's very important for me to follow in my mom's footsteps, who was the first one to get a college degree. And I want to be the second one up, I want to be right next to her completing my degree and getting a bachelor's degree. So yeah, really having that familial background really helps.
Cool. Congratulations, and way to stick with it. Actually, I'm in my third year, going to start NAU next year, so that gives me motivation.
Yay!
All right. And then I have a question. What are you planning on doing with your major, and what made you come to that realization? How did you find out what you wanted to do?
Well, from a young age, I've always been very ambitious, and my family would always talk about how the hardest job was the presidency. And so from a young age, I've strived to become involved with politics so that by the time I am old enough to run for presidency, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But also, every single president that we've had been all serious, all, let's say, a little older than us. And I really want to be that president who relates to the younger crowd. I know that sounds a little young at heart when I'm older, but I just feel like their generation doesn't really understand the current, present dangers or issues that we're dealing with.
Yeah.
I feel like teenagers mostly and young adults are treated like children. And because of that, they don't get to expand upon their ideas, their innovative ways. Shameless plug to ASU. And really take into the reins what we as like a younger generation can do.
Yeah.
Because I hear a lot of people say that we are the change. I do. This generation and the next.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited.
Yeah, for sure. I would agree with you on that. There were so many, I've talked about this in my English class not too long ago, but there's so many movements that were started in the 60s or the 70s that are currently working today.
Yeah.
Like, or new ones that we've had to make, like anti-Asian hate or Black Lives Matter, you know. So those are things that we're starting now, and it's same things with like the whole like hippy-dippy stuff like in the 60s and 70s, and then, you know, like stuff like Martin Luther King, like well, at least you weren't like burning your bras back in the day, Noel. Hugging trees.
That's a fact.
Hugging trees, saying that LSD was good for you. Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely
Definitely
definitely not. Okay, let's take it on to Victory, who stole my question because I'm the one who came up with it, and they said, "Oh, I want that one." Okay, go.
Yes, because it's a genuine question though. Because it's like, what is some of the weirdest or most annoying prerequisite classes that you've had to take this?
Ooh. Definitely, I wouldn't consider any of the classes that I've taken weird because I'm very particular with my classes. I always, one, read up on the description on the class search page, and two, look up my professor on the Rate My Professors tab.
RateMyProfessor.com is a must.
Yes. And so I'm very particular about my classes, although one of the most annoying ones that I actually recently just had is a geography lab for 1 credit. And it was a science, quantitative science, I think, that I had to take to graduate, and was only 1 credit. They didn't have any deadlines until the very last day of the session, which was right before spring break on March 4th, 5th. And so I put everything off until the last week. And I was supposed to buy a $60 geo-visualization game for the class. And I was like, I am not about to drop $60 the first day, you know? And so of the names, I had to guess on all of the quizzes. I had to really do some scientific guesses and eliminations. But fortunately enough, it was accumulation of points instead of the if you get this many wrong, then that's going to count against your grade. No, it's just an accumulation. And I did my best to accumulate a B, up to a B, to graduate. Otherwise, I wouldn't have graduated.
Wow.
Let it be known.
Very annoying.
Let it be known that I was bugging him about it for weeks before it was due.
They were.
Does he listen? No.
Before I ask my next question, Vince, can I ask, maybe Victory said this, how do you guys know each other?
Yeah, we are actually coworkers for grassroots voter outreach. Right now, we're working on behalf of the Human Rights Campaign. And I think that's all I could say without it being like us as media representatives, which we're not allowed to be.
Oh, okay, cool. We'll keep it super general then. All right, yeah, I think she said that. In fact, I know she did now that you say that. So that's cool. Wait, do you work for Victory? Like, is she your team leader?
Sometimes.
We work
Do
together.
you work for
I'm the
victory?
manager sometimes. I'm your field manager sometimes. It changes.
Sometimes.
Team leader. Hey, we're in Honors 201. It's all about leadership and teamwork.
Yes,
So,
it
Yes.
is.
it's all good. It's all good. It's all good sometimes. Okay, cool. All right, so let me ask you this.
Oh.
Of the subject matter you is
Wait. Pause. Noah, can you say that again? Can you ask your question again?
Sure.
My internet connection is so bad, it did not get any of what you just said or any of the video. So I need you to ask the question again. Oh, it's getting worse. Okay. Hold on.
Hold on. I can't screen record if you're the person who started it.
No, you can still screen record on your own device. But my internet connection is horrible. It's on it's on a medium level, but I can hear you better now. And you're actually moving, so that's a good sign. Okay.
Oh, so not frozen.
Yeah, you're not frozen anymore. Okay, so re-ask your question, sorry.
Okay. So I was just saying, if I did anything other than criminal justice, political science would be it, I think. What kind of classes are required in your 300s and what are also have favorite classes that just, if not as my second part B of my question, some of your subject matters, like specifically like description, and then favorite class.
Ooh. Some of the subject matter that I learned as a political science major is one, how our government works domestically, how our governments work on an international level, international affairs. Political thought really expand my mind so much more because I've always liked to hear sides of the story unless it goes against my own philosophical beliefs. And for example, I don't want to ruffle some feathers. However, if there is a discrimination towards someone based on something that they can't change, say their race, wow. No, you shouldn't be able to discriminate against that. However, I do believe that politics is a spectrum, and we have certain ways that we ideally want to run our government. And American political class really opened my mind up to how other political thinkers think and how republicanism came to be and how it changed to the version that we have now. The Democrats and the Republicans switched names during, I think, the Civil War or after the Civil War.
Yeah.
And so I think that was one of my, again, favorite classes that wasn't necessarily mandatory, but it was an elective class that I had to take or choose. And I would say comparative government, comparing how our government works differently from other governments. So I think that's in conjunction with my recent class, which is comparative politics. And so how not only just the governments, but also regimes are different, how regimes change. And so I would say that's some of the subject matter and some of also my favorite classes that I have taken because one, it's interesting, and two, it's really expanded my knowledge and my mind. And I can say that I don't have a confirmation bias because I don't just indulge myself in the classes that I particularly have the same critical views in. but also classes where I don't necessarily agree with them, but now I have a better understanding of why they think like that, why that party's that way, and how or why the people within those parties think that way as well. And I gotta say, like, anything on the political spectrum is valid, 100%.
Cool. Very nice. That's a really good answer.
Yeah.
So that's funny that Victory and I, we've been talking about this. So would you say that your mind has been expanded because of that, the way you take the classes that are maybe not just 100% what you would love, and see other people do? Because I was telling Victory a few weeks ago that I think college is a place to talk about everything and anything before you're in the world and you're in a job and you're talking about one thing every day to your boss or your co-workers, and that's all you talk about. It's like how many shelves you're making at the warehouse, or
shelves you're making
out to deliver the pizzas, or whatever you're in charge of. You know what I mean? Like then your world is just like that. Yes. So you said that because Victory, I get that's 1 point over here. You too, girl. So.
It's that competitive conflict style.
Yeah. Oh, I have to compete. Yeah.
You're willing to compete on building those 12 shelves by yourself. And you're not willing to let anybody else build those shelves. Okay. Okay, to lead us on to our next thing, because Vince, you did kind of go into the question that I had for you before we wrap up, but I wanted to ask, what was the class that made you have an aha moment, or was like that was the class that was like, holy shit, I never thought of it like that, or this completely changed everything about what I thought I knew?
Oh, did I only take one class?
Okay, maybe like two.
Okay, so I would definitely say my American political thought one is one of my number one classes that gave me so many aha moments. And then the other one that is kind of underrated, but also played such a huge role in the way I think now, is sociology of religion. So
that's a good one.
Yes, it was just so mind-blowing to see why people believe, like capital B, believe in the things. It's fascinating to see everyone's different versions of the same kinds of stories, creation stories, destruction stories, how we came to be as humans, and the souls that we have in us. One of the most memorable quotes from that class is that we can look at all of these religions as the analogy of the 6 blind mice and the elephant, which each blind mouse tries to guess a part of the elephant.
Oh, I've actually read that poem.
Yes!
Yeah, I know what poem you're talking about.
Yes, and so just to know that we really do have it right, but we're so busy arguing and we're so busy fighting that we can't collaborate to find out capital T truth.
Sorry. No, the only reason I'm laughing is because we in our conflict class, my conflict style is collaborating. That's why when you said that, I was like, that's me. But anyways. Okay, and then what was the first class again that you had mentioned?
It was for my American political thought class.
Okay, and then real quickly, what was that about? What made you have those aha moments?
So what gave me those aha moments was really, excuse me, right,
no, you're good.
Expanding my view on the political spectrum, we talked about how politics and political groups can sway in either direction into the extremist side. Because right now, we only hear about the extremist right wing, and then we call the radical left. And based on those nicknames, really, we're just worsening our issues and arguments against each other. Because, yeah, there are extremes, but it's also a spectrum. You know, you have to understand that you may not be 100% right all the time. And I know that not every single issue can be solved with a one-size-fit-all Band-Aid.
Yeah.
And so looking for societal issues, but with the lens of everything, really just... it takes a lot of like brain energy and consideration, and again collaboration. Because as much as I want to say that I've expanded my knowledge, I know that there's always someone out there on the opposite side of the spectrum that can fill me in, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
And so definitely that. If there was one thing that I took from that class, this political spectrum talk, is how equality of opportunity isn't necessarily the same as equality of outcome. And we need more equality of outcome in our lives because opportunity doesn't breed success. It doesn't. In our societal system, it's not. If you have the resources from a very young age, then you have it. You're going to stay successful. But if you don't, yes, there is a chance. But because of the systems that we have in place, you might get trapped in a cycle. You might get trapped in a pit because of one decision. For most cases, it was that one decision in life.
Yeah.
That really dug them deep into and into unsuccessfulness, which I don't really say success is a measure of like how you should value as a person. But right now, again, in our society, that's success is a huge measure.
It is. Can I ask you something? I know we're going to close.
Hold on, wait.
I have 2 questions.
Okay, sorry. We only have 6 minutes, so really make this quick.
Other than president, what other career path would you consider? Just curious.
Ooh. I don't know if this is the right way to like promote this, but I've always wanted to start a revolution.
Oh, I was thinking
I love that answer.
I don't know, office oriented, but but okay. The peace revolution.
Yeah, I will. Violence is the last resort of everything anymore.
Okay.
Right.
We're gonna wrap up. Vince, where can the people find you?
Yes, oh my goodness. So you can find me mostly on Instagram, really. It is, if I remember correctly, VRHA and then 3 E's. So VRHA. And then any of y'all or your viewers want to just have a discussion, because I love chatting about these kinds of things that most people are scared to talk about, then feel free to use my email. It is vcgomez, Gomez, 2@u.edu.
All right.
Are you in a hot tub?
Me?
In your Instagram?
No.
We're looking at a different account.
Say your name again.
Oh, yes, I am in a hot tub.
Oh, okay. I was like, I need readers that
with you.
But you have sunglasses on, right? Okay, if I follow you, will you follow me?
Of course.
Okay, so you and I have completely differing views, although I will say this. I am open-minded, and a lot of what you said, I completely agree with 100%. So I totally want you to follow me because I'd love you to chime in and open other people's minds.
Also, I would like to add that Noelle doesn't even follow our podcast Instagram, but she followed you before.
I just forgot.
Everyone who follows everyone who follows the podcast Instagram is either my closest friends or Victory. Those are the only people that follow it so far.
Doing it.
You literally put it on the every whiteboard you could get a hold of.
I could. I did.
Oh,
I'm not really, I'm not really
Oh,
IT.
there's
right?
Noelle. There she is.
I'm a person.
Okay. Anyways.
I just got an Instagram in December, guys.
Okay. To wrap up. Thank you so much, Vince, for coming onto the pod. We enjoyed you. You had such a great energy. You were literally made for TV. So.
Yes, great first guest.
Thank you all
Yeah.
so much for having me. I honestly, such an honor to be your first guest, like you said.
Also, when you become president, can you maybe buy me like a smoothie or something? You know, just like.
I will get you a smoothie shop.
Okay.
We're open
Okay.
weekend coming, so you're never late anyway.
Okay.
Great, guys.
All right.
Yes. Noelle, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Sorry.
Can I leave? Can I leave this in?
Somebody Chromecast from out in the other room. My phone.
All right. We're gonna call it quits there.
Have a great night.
Bye. Have a good night, y'all.